Welcome to our channel, the place where more than 2 million people come to learn about iconic fashion people. Today, we are going to meet the one and only Stella Tennant. Make sure to stay till the end because this story has some dark twists you won't want to miss. Act 1. Origins and Early Life. We open with a slow montage of Stella's most iconic runway walks. Throughout the video, we will hear a narration from Stella herself, which gives us insight into the aristocrat rebel that was Stella Tennant. Stella is the granddaughter of the Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, making her part of one of Britain's oldest aristocratic families. But she rejects such labels. She is the child of Deborah, a Vogue cover girl in the 60s, and a famous artist. And she spent her early childhood traveling around Europe with her mother and sister. As a child, Stella always felt connected to art. In fact, when her parents divorced, she even moved with her father to a farm in the Scottish countryside. There, her father encouraged her creativity and made her a treehouse, which she spent much of her time in. Stella always had an interest in sculpture and studied it in college, not realizing that her mother had sent her portfolio off to a modeling agency behind her back. While in college, Stella dyed her hair bleach blonde, which would become her signature look. She also got her nose pierced, something that wasn't very common at the time, especially not for someone with Stella's upbringing. It just so happened that a representative from Vogue Italia saw the piercing and thought it would be perfect for a story. She brought Stella to the attention of stylist and creative director Steven Meisel, who cast her in a series of striking black and white photos that were published in Vogue Italia in 1989. This caught the attention of many other designers, and Stella's career took off right after that. Act 2. A meteorite rises. By the early 90s, Stella had established herself as a bona fide star. Her breakthrough came when she opened Chanel's 1991 haute couture show wearing a black trouser suit and a white shirt. Her look was both elegant and masculine, something that would become her trademark. Soon after, she became a favorite of Karl Lagerfeld, who declared her the new face of Chanel. Lagerfeld called Stella his leading lady, and he put her in countless shows and editorials. He saw her as the embodiment of modern aristocracy. Versace and Alexander McQueen also loved her, and they featured her heavily in their ad campaigns. But not everyone appreciated her avant-garde beauty. At the time, supermodels like Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell, and Linda Evangelista were dominating the industry. Their pretty faces and statuesque bodies were splashed across magazine covers and billboards. But Stella's face didn't fit into the traditional mold of beauty. Stella's strong, sharp cheekbones, sharp jawline, and piercing blue eyes could intimidate. Stella did not resemble any of the other models of the time. Stella managed to rise above it all, and in doing so became an icon of androgyny in fashion. In 1993, Stella became the face of Chanel No. 5 alongside the supermodel Christy Turlington, and that same year she landed one of the biggest campaigns of the season, the solo ads for Burberry's 1994 spring campaign. She also starred in a critically acclaimed print ad for the British designer Alexander McQueen's debut Women is Fragrance poem. Stella appeared in over 70 magazine covers throughout her career, including 6 times on the cover of American Vogue. Other notable campaigns include Calvin Klein, Yves Saint Laurent, Prada, and many more. Stella was the original girl next door. She looked like someone you might know from school, or perhaps a friend of a friend. She had a cool, aloof vibe that made her seem unattainable, and that was what made her so appealing. Whether she was wearing exquisite haute couture or simple streetwear, Stella commanded attention. She had the power to sell both beautiful gowns and hoodies. After meeting Stella, Lagerfeld never wanted to work with another model except Stella. Lagerfeld said, "There are thousands of beautiful girls, but there is only one Stella." Act 3. The person behind the image. Now let's talk about who Stella really was. Stella did not like the label of supermodel, and she hated the word celebrity. When she was asked if she was a supermodel, she replied, "I don't like that term. I have no say in my profession. I'm not a celebrity. I've done nothing. I'm just paid to stand there and look good sometimes. Sometimes I think I'd like to be somebody else. Somebody who can do something instead of being photographed in beautiful clothes." She once told an interviewer that she hoped her 4 children would find her boring, saying that she doesn't want them to know anything about her work. Stella married French photographer David Lasnet in 1999 and moved away from the bright lights to live in the south of France. There, she gave birth to their first child and 2 more after that. They later moved to a 12th-century farmhouse in the Scottish countryside where they raised their kids and sheep. Stella designed the interiors of her house herself and decorated it with antiques and artwork, including sculptures from her own hand. Though Stella mostly retired from modeling, she occasionally returned to the runway to support her friends and favorite designers. She did numerous high-fashion editorials for magazines like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and W. In these editorials, she proved her versatility. She could wear elegant evening gowns and look breathtaking, or she could wear the most outlandish designs and make them look effortless. Stella knew how to command attention. She was a natural. While Stella avoided the spotlight, she was a fierce activist for sustainable and ethical fashion long before it became fashionable. Stella frequently called out fast fashion brands and promoted timeless pieces over trendy ones. Act 4. Controversies and struggles. Despite her seemingly successful career and happy family life, things weren't always rosy for Stella. Stella revealed that she was often criticized for not smiling more. "I think it's because I look quite severe. People expect you to be a bit giddy, but it's not my nature to be frivolous." She added that the endless stream of body measurements, weight checks, and beauty treatments took a toll on her mental health. "I feel as though I exist solely to produce images. I don't feel I have a real job. I'm judged solely on my looks, which I think is shallow." Behind her impenetrable, almost stoic appearance, Stella was struggling. It has been alleged that she suffered from depression and anxiety, though this has never been confirmed. In a 2012 interview with the Daily Telegraph, she said that she experienced panic attacks during fashion shows. "You have all these people screaming at you, and then afterwards they all want to talk to you, but they don't really care about you. You can't even speak. Your whole body is aching and you can't remember what you did. It's awful." In 1997, Stella briefly retired from modeling due to exhaustion and to focus on her personal life. But she soon returned to work after having her first child. After her divorce from photographer David Lasnett in 2014, Stella moved back to Britain and continued working as a model while co-parenting 4 children. She had a brief relationship with French designer and collaborator of Lagerfeld Johnny Hallyday. Unfortunately, he died in 2020. Throughout her decades-long career, Stella was constantly judged on her appearance. "It's such a strange thing to base your self-esteem on. I hate the idea of someone standing over me holding a tape measure." Stella passed away suddenly in December of 2020 at the age of 52. Though the circumstances surrounding her death have not been fully revealed, her passing was likely caused by an accidental overdose. And that's all we have for you today. We hope you enjoyed learning more about Stella Tennant. Let us know in the comments below which iconic fashion person you would like us to cover next. And don't forget to follow us here for daily videos about iconic fashion people.